Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Surprise Thursday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Four Horsemen Studios, the Legion's Armory Experience, Purple Evil Armory Knight. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging. And here we have the usual suspects of MythicLegions.com, SourceHorseman.com, StoreHorseman.com, and the Mythic Legions logo of the Four Horsemen that they use on their Mythic Legions packaging. Some nice artwork on the background. Nice big blister showcasing the figure, and you can kind of see some of this stuff there in the baggies here on the side. And this one is the evil purple Armory Knight, which I think I already said. But Mythic Legions in a nice chromy finish, which they don't normally do. This compass looking thing on this side. This compass looking thing on this side. And then on the back, you got these nice, artwork of these mountains and Four Horsemen in a kind of a chromey finish, and their logo in a chromey finish, which again, they don't use this chrome stuff very often, at least that I have seen. Now, if you want to read all of this good stuff, you feel free to pause it and read it as much as you would like. And then here we have the credits. And then over here we have, see the entire collection. Please visit MythicLegions.com. And there you have it, my friends. A look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And we'll start up with this piece right here, which is a handle. It's got that nice gunmetal paint app here and on the end, along with some nice little rivets on there. And it does have some nice wooden details that I think might have a little bit of wash in there. I can get the thing to focus. So lots of nice little details in there. And bladed war club head that goes with that handle. And there's another piece that goes with it as well. But I will have to say again, it has that nice gunmetal color to it. And nice molded details in it. A little bit of a mishap there. I don't know if it's paint or where it was pulled out of the molding. But it's got some rivets, got an edge to it, it looks like. And a point up here and some rivets down here. And there's a port in the bottom of it. And the post and the handle just ports right in, and so you have that. You also have this other piece which connects up to it, and it's a mace. And it's round and it's got all these little nubs on it. And this scale looking molded details here, and so nice little weapon. I'm going to put the War Club, bladed War Club head back on it because he's evil, and I give both of my evil dudes this instead of the mace. I gave the good Green Knight that I got the mace for it. So there's that. Next up, let's take a look at the sword scabbard, and you can see it's got a clip on it right here. It's molded in this color, it looks like, and then it's got these nice gold or brass paint apps at either end. And then here is the sword, and the sword has that kind of, well, I won't say it has the same coloration to it. It's a little bit brighter of a silver, so it's not really the gunmetal, but it does have little sparklies in it. You can see that, and nice molded details there on the blade. Gold or brass coloring for the handguard and the pommel, as well as a leatherish kind of wrap detail for the handle. And it fits right into the scabbard nicely. It doesn't go 100% in, or the blade doesn't go 100% in, because you can see this is kind of a generic scabbard, and it's not made to, you know, 100% fit the sword, at least the blade. So still a cool piece. Next up is the kind of broadsword, and it also, well, the color of this is closer to the gunmetal of the other weapons, and it also has a sparkly kind of finish to it. You can see little flecks in there. So nice molded details. Again, the gold or brass coloring for the handguard and the pommel, and then I'm assuming that it's molded in this color, but nice molded details there for the handle, and you can see it really looks like it's made to be two-handed. So there's that. Next up, we have his belt or shoulder strap. For this guy, he already has a belt, which came on the figure. So I'm guessing this is a shoulder strap. Of course, you could use it with other figures if you wanted and give them a belt. So we've got some nice gold paint apps there for the buckles and the strap holders and the rivets and the strap holder. And you can see it's got a piece in there for weapons to go in, and it would go this way unless you want this piece in the front, or I guess it could go that way. So either way, nice little belt piece. Here is his neck armor, and it's got these nice silver rivet paint apps on it, and here's the post that tabs into the back of the neck, and I'll show you where that tabs in when we get around to it on the figure. And it's got some nice molded details in there and a nice design. So that's a cool little piece as well. Next up, we have his shield, and it's got some nice details in it, some silver and some gunmetal, and then it's got rivets and rings, and then on the inside it's just silver, and it's got a handle. The handle is removable. There's a post on the shield and a port in the handle, and it just kind of works on there, and you can see just some details there on the handle. So very nice. Then next up, we have the shoulder armor, which is all spiky, so of course it's evil. And then it's got this silver paint app here, and this silver paint app for this nub in the middle, and then it's got some silver paint apps for these rivets, and that's about it. But there is a lot of nice sculpted detail in there. I mean, look at all that, how it's kind of rough and pitted and slashed at a little bit. So the other side is pretty much the same, just for the other side, and there's the post right there where it clips in, where it ports into his back, rather. So there's that. Now let's take a look at the figure, and I have to say, I am not the biggest fan of this helmet. It's just not what I think of when I think of a knight. It's just I don't really care for this particular style of helmet, and if you do, that's okay. You know, like what you like. I would not have just went out and picked this dude, not because of the color. I like the color okay. Just because of this helmet, I would not have picked him. But since I got it in pretty much a blind box or grab bag, blind grab bag, I suppose, you know, I didn't get a choice over what colors or styles or whatever. But for the most part, I like it. And you know, I guess with this helmet, I don't like it'll fit in with the evil dudes, because it just kind of has that feeling to it, to me. So we've got all these silver rivets, and I'm assuming that it's molded in this purple color, but I could be wrong. It could be a paint out. But there's just silver rivets everywhere on this, gold or brass for the buckles and rivets on the belt, and it's even got some down here at the bottom. So very highly detailed, as most Four Horsemen stuff is. And then we've got rivets and plates and sharp parts and just all kinds of stuff in this overlay here. And then for the legs on the inside and the outside, it's got these buckles that are silver. The strap is brown, and then the buckles and rivets look to be silver. And they're on the inside as well, like I mentioned. Then you can see some of his chainmail under the armor there and at the elbows also. And then he's got these big monster kind of feet because he's a bad guy. Dang it. Well, let's talk about his articulation a little bit. He has a hinge and ball at the neck, and the neck is removable as well. So he can look up that high. He can look down that low. He's got chicken neck. He's got waggle. He can do the full exorcist. At the shoulder, 360 degrees of rotation. And he can raise his arm up that high, not quite 90 degrees. Single hinge and swivel at the elbow. Swivels around 360 degrees and gives you a little bit better than 90 degrees worth of bend. There's a cut where, well, it's not really a cut, it's where it goes together on the gauntlet, and that'll give you another 360 degree rotation. And then you get another bit of rotation here at the wrist. Well, I say you do, it doesn't want to, so I may have to unstick that. There it goes. So of course it popped all the way out because I didn't want it to. So that's what happens when you try to go 360 degrees around this spiked part here. So you get some twist in there, and then it's on an in and out hinge, and wow, that was tight. And then the other side is an in and out hinge as well. That was really loose. Well, not loose, but anyway. So he's got a half dumbbell or a ball joint, whatever you want to call it, here at the waist. Gives him plenty of hula. He can lean left and right. He can rotate 360 degrees. He can lean back that far, but then you see his guts. So we'll try to fix that. So he can lean back that far, and he can lean forward that far. So not the greatest range there, but again, this is a dude in some armor. So, or maybe he's a monster in some armor. I don't know. So at the hips, he gives you the full splits. Maybe a little bit of the splits plus. And this overlay, it sometimes feels like it's getting in the way, but it does not really impede the range of motion. This one may a little bit, but it is removable, like if you want him to ride a horse or whatever. So it does kind of get out of the way there. So he can kick forward that far, about 90 degrees it looks like. And then backwards that far, and that's as far as the joint goes. This is not disrupting the range of motion at all. Now where this part of the leg inserts into this part of the leg, there is a rotation there at the upper thigh, so that's cool. Single hinge and swivel at the knee, swivels around 360 degrees and gives you that much bend. Nothing in the shin. At the ankle, the whole ankle, like, it pegs up in this way, and that gives you a 360 degree rotation there if you need it for any reason. So it tilts down that far at the ankle, it tilts up that far at the ankle, and it does have a pin for rockers. Now if you'll give me just a moment, my friends, I'll be right back with the knight all armored up. And here we have it, my friends. the Armory Experience Evil Purple Knight, all armored up and ready for battle. And that, my friends, is a look at the figure and his accessories and storage too, I suppose. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Four Horsemen Studios Mythic Legion's Armory Experience Evil Purple Knight with the Four Horsemen Studios Mythic Legion's Armory Experience Evil Red Knight and the Four Horsemen Studios Mythic Legion's Armory Experience Heroic Green Knight. For our last set of comparisons, here we have the Four Horsemen Studios Mythic Legion's Armory Experience Evil Purple Knight, with from the Marvel Legends series making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From the G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison, from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Four Horsemen Studios Mythic Legion's Armory Experience Evil Purple Knight, I have to say, first of all, I have to say that, you know, this was part of the like blind box deal they had going on Store Horsemen, where you pay $100 and you get 3 random knights from the Armory Experience. And you get 3 knights, plus you get the Barbarian Bear parts. And I thought it was a really good deal because these knights were selling at $45 a pop, probably more on secondary market at this point. So you're getting 3 $45 knights plus a $10 Bear Barbarian parts. So I felt like it was a really good deal, even though I didn't get to choose which ones I was getting. So you get basically the Barbarian parts they threw in for free, and you get 1 figure at a pretty good discount. So there is that. Now, that being said, out of the 3, this one is my least favorite, and I would not have picked this one myself at all. Because I don't, the helmet is not my favorite type of helmet for a knight, and it's not my favorite. The other 2 were much better, and again, I would not have picked this one. Because who wears purple in the battle? Oh, I know, like Skeletor. But anyway, so I would not have picked this guy. I'm not displeased that I got him because, you know, it's another knight to fill out the ranks because it's an army builder. And so I've got 1 more evil knight. And, you know, basic Four Horsemen or Mythic Legions, you know, range of motion on stuff, and, you know, their standard decos, and so it looks really good. The sculpt is good. Nothing new in it that I can tell. I think that was the whole point of the Armory Experience, is that everything in it is reuse and you can build your own stuff, provided you did it at the convention. Whereas, you know, these you get like the whole knight. And even if you bought all 10, or the set of all 10, there's no real discount there, other than, you know, all of them were like $5 cheaper than what a Legion's figure like this might normally run. So there's that. I thought the blind box was a much better deal, because I didn't want all of them anyway. I just wanted a few of them. And, you know, none of the ones that I got, well, maybe the red one I would have picked, the red Evil Knight, which I got. I got also the Heroic Green Knight, who turned out to be my favorite of the 3 that I got. And, you know, I probably wouldn't have even picked him. I would have picked, like, the 2 red knights, and I don't know which other one I would have picked. But, you know, I am glad at least I got 1 heroic knight, because they seem to come with some extra pieces. Maybe it's just depending on what armor or hands or whatever is used, but he seemed, you know, he came with up and down wrist, hands, and horns for his helmet, which the 2 evil knights that I got did not come with. So I felt like that was even, you know, that's a better value as well. And I'm gonna tell you, the green of the figures really growing on me. And the, you know, the shiny purple of this one isn't bad. And the red one was a little bit darker than what I was expecting, but it's also fine. And so, I don't know, I guess I say I got a good deal. I got a few Knight Army builders, 1 good and 2 evil, and some Bear Barbarian parts, so maybe at some point I will get some spare hips and hands and forearms and shins and feet and a head somewhere. I don't know, but you know, and of course, I mean, you know, I could use parts of any of these guys or any other Mythic Legions, because that's one of the core tenets of the line when they set out to make it, is that, you know, the parts were swappable for the most part. So there is that. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, overall, this isn't one that I would have myself picked, but I like it, even if the helmet is not my favorite design for a helmet. But he's a bad guy, so, you know, his boss doesn't necessarily give him the best stuff, because, you know, they keep it for themselves. But overall, I mean, the whole 3-pack, it was a good value, and, you know, it's more knights. So who doesn't love more knights? Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I am now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.